7 o'clock. Call this regular council meeting to order here at Stafford County Annex, April 21st, 2020. Are there any additions to the agenda?
15-minute executive session for non-elected personnel after the first 5-minute potential hire.
Non-elected personnel? Okay.
I guess we could put under new business 8th Street where the truck parking lot was. Just figure out what we're going to do with that.
8th Street? Parking lot, okay. Is there anybody else? Any other additions?
I need 10 minutes for potential hire.
Executive session?
Yeah.
Okay, any other additions? Can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we have citizens comments next, and I have a letter from Debbie Waddle, comments for City Council. At the April 7th City Council meeting, I was dismayed to see that appropriate social distancing was not being followed by the majority of the council. At a time when the governor has specifically stated that we were to shelter in place, non-essential businesses and schools were closed, and that gatherings of more than 10 people were not to be held, all with the intent of slowing the COVID-19 virus, to see that you were sitting at a table elbow to elbow was surprising and disappointing to see our leaders failing to set the example. With the exception of our city administrator, who did try to maintain 6 feet distance, and the mayor and city attorney, who appeared via FaceTime, the other 4 members apparently chose not to follow these guidelines. Not only in their seating were they dismissive of the governor's issue, but also in criticism for Jamie Getty, city administrator. Did they again seem to disregard precautions due to the virus? When she stated that she was working remotely per the governor's orders, that if you were able to work from home, then stay at home. To suggest that her pay be decreased by making this decision after all agreeing that she is still doing her job and there had been no complaints was a slap in the face and disrespectful. Even though the council had discussed it at a prior meeting, situations change, and with the virus and the governor's orders. There are 8 questions here she'd like to have answered tonight. First question, has there been any time that when Ms. Getty was needed for a project or asked for assistance and she failed to do so?
I don't think that can be discussed in public. I think that's a...
John?
The question was whether Jamie's ever done a project or failed to do a project she was asked to do. Is that correct?
The question is, has there been any time when Ms. Getty was needed for a project or asked for assistance and she failed to do so?
That is probably subject to executive session.
Okay.
I apologize. I didn't understand the Ms. Getty part.
Okay. The second question, same question for you, is this executive session. Is her salary already committed in the approved budget?
That's probably okay, open session.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's already figured in.
Okay.
Public knowledge.
John, please listen to each of these questions and please tell me whether they should be discussed in executive session or not. Number 3, do you have provisions in place to ensure against possible transmission of the virus between council members? I think
That can be done in open.
Yes, okay. Anyone care to answer that one?
Provisions in between council members.
Do you have provisions in place to ensure against possible transmission of the virus between council members? I think at the moment we are currently trying to prevent that by social distancing at this meeting. But as far as provisions are concerned, I don't think we have anything in place. Would everyone agree with that?
So the moral of that story is we should have held our meeting here last time?
Unfortunately, we tried, but we couldn't get in here last time, so we had no choice but to hold it at the city office. So, number 4. For city employees, are they encouraged to maintain a 6-foot distance when working together and provide masks, hand sanitizer, and gloves if requested? Jamie,
That's fine in open session.
yeah. Jamie,
And
do
I
you know?
can answer that if I mean, they are told all the time to not work close together. They've ordered extra sanitizer and wipes.
Right.
No one has asked for gloves or masks.
Okay, well, it's not always, they're not always able to do so. They do try to do that. Okay. Number 5, if a city employee felt that his or her environment was not safe due to pre-existing condition or an ill coworker, what would be the policy?
It's already been
That
handled.
can
Yeah,
be
that
talked in open session.
We discussed that the last 2 meetings.
Number 6, if an employee needs to be on quarantine for doctor or health department orders, what provisions will be made for that worker? Pay, vacation time, sick leave, continuation of benefits, etc.
Whatever the
That
state's
could be-
requiring us to do.
Cross that bridge when we get there, I would say.
Yeah.
Mark, it's been past 3 minutes for citizens' comments.
That's fine, I'm allowing more.
Well, you
more
better
time for
allow
this.
it when somebody else is in here for 3 minutes too.
I think I have in the past.
You better allow it then.
I will.
I don't know about that.
Will the city be hiring a city clerk at some point in the future, or will Jamie Getty be expected to continue, unlike her predecessors, in both roles as city clerk and city administrator?
Should we direct that at the city administrator?
Executive session.
What do you say?
I answered.
Okay. That will be taken care of apparently then. We discussed during executive session.
I mean,
Is there an issue or is there?
It's just a question.
no, it's
That's
just,
a-
It's just an executive session issue. If it needs to be talked about, it can be. If not, then
Okay.
I guess is how I see it.
Okay. All right, and the final question here. I keep hearing about Jamie's baby in the discussion as a reason for some decisions. Why? Is the fact that she's a new mom hindering her ability to do her job? Was having the baby in the office, which had been closed to the public, in any way keeping her from performing her job? Why was it okay for her to have her dog with her for the last couple of years and to take breaks to walk her dog, but a baby suddenly becomes an issue? Would you honestly ask these questions of a new dad?
If that's a general question geared towards any city employee being done in open session, if that's related specifically to Jamie, it should happen in closed session.
So who's it directed at? All employees or one employee?
The question was having a baby in the office, which had been closed to the public, in any way keeping her from performing her job. I think that's a general question right there.
On her
If the
performance?
question is whether having a baby prevents Jamie from doing her job, then that should be an executive session. If it is general discussion related to city's policy about having children in the office, that can happen in open
Alright.
session.
Well, the rest of the questions are going to be pretty much the same thing. So, and she continues, finally, be fair and judicious in your roles as council members. You are looked upon as community leaders, so please make good choices and lead by example. This is a scary time for a lot of people who are looking for leaders who will keep our community safe. Once again, I implore you to be respectful, be safe, and lead us through this. All
I mean,
right.
just to be clear on the whole meeting last time, I mean, that's under your direction as the mayor, right?
Yes.
We were supposed to be there.
I think our meeting location is anything other than the council members' fault. That's not our planning. We go where we're told to go.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. And I
Okay.
told people that we tried to get the
I never
meeting
knew we
moved.
tried. I couldn't tell that answer because nobody told me we tried anywhere else. I went to City Hall where I was told to go.
I think there was a lot of fingers pointed at council members. I'm just asking.
I would have been glad to go anywhere.
Okay, that's fine. You know, I'll take the hit on that one. I don't have a problem with taking a hit on anything, so. Do we have anybody else on there, Jamie, that's waiting in the waiting room? Okay. Okay, moving on to consent agenda. Approved minutes, regular council meeting, April 7th, 2020. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Appropriation ordinance 4-21-2020 in the amount of $17,094.83. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Okay, moving on to department heads. Let's see. I assume everyone got a chance to look at the administrative report. Jamie, have you heard anything? I know Jeff, right here, Jeff has been out sick. Nothing to report this time. Has that changed?
Yes, Alan is going to be building that house on the land that we talked about last meeting. And he has requested the electrical lines. They're overhead right now and it kind of goes straight through the property. So he's requested to put all of that underground. And so Jeff has the project lined out and he is requesting $4,500 to put that block underground.
Alan has the price too, like he knows it's 4,500.
No, we're talking city power lines.
Yeah.
Moving city power lines.
He's asking for the city.
It'd be the primary. The city's responsible for the primary, and then the homeowners are, like, when he builds his house, is responsible for the secondary.
Yep.
Isn't that
That's
correct?
right. Yep. So it's the primary wires going. I mean, does it continue on? I don't.
He drew me a picture, and it goes back to,
I think it supplies the whole entire block.
yeah, but
It
it
comes
also,
in off of that.
it goes down by Keller's house, though, across the lot, and then it goes up, it powers up to the sewer pond as well, I believe. It's
Oh,
the
so
way-
it's, the power lines go in front of his property, the west side, is that correct?
They go across the property, east and west. The primary does. It sits basically right in the middle of the,
That'd have been like north of where the old house was? That would, I mean, I just can't picture that.
Yeah, I can't either.
Do we have a
It's-
lot buried in town? I mean,
well, there's some.
There's not a lot,
I don't think so.
just, no, not
There's
there's.
some.
and then do we have to have like easements so we can't build? I mean, of course, you've got to say so many
Yeah.
foot back.
It's probably the same easement, I would say, the
Yeah.
same, it's gonna be the same route. I mean,
Well, they're gonna put it on the north property line, is what Jeff told me today.
Okay, that's,
They're gonna bury it, they wanna bury it underground at the north property line and then bring it in and then supply everybody.
and we have an easement for that.
Yeah. He told me that, he told Alan that, the only thing is you won't be able to build over the top of it. We'll have an easement to service that line underground if we ever have to. But it'd be clear up on the fence line.
rather than dividing the property in half.
Right.
Right.
Anything else, Jane?
Where?
I don't know, I
Just
mean,
need approval if you guys want.
As long as 4,500 doesn't mean 9,500, I guess.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it to get out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, do we?
I was actually standing there talking to Jeff when the guy called him and gave him the price on all this to do that stuff up there.
Wait, will that be contracted out?
No, that's just for material.
Oh.
That's
oh.
the material to do it, and our city guys do it, Jeff and Jason, I guess.
Basically, he can't put a house in there right now where he wants it with the primary road right there. 4,500.
Unless we want to look at it, we'll table it till next meeting.
That's what I want to do.
If everybody wants to go look at it, or if we had any specific questions, email Jeff, I guess, but.
Right. Guess we just gotta keep it fair.
So go ahead and table that.
No, I'm not, I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, we always said we don't like making big decisions quick. I don't have a problem with it, I totally get his.
And he said,
what
Jeff
divide
said
his
that we
property.
can call him right now if you guys want to talk to him too.
I wonder if it's something that has to be done like right away.
Well,
Does anybody know?
I drove by there today and I know,
They were removing the tree in the shed and
and getting ready to do dirt work up there.
Right. I just think, you know, when you sign off on a house, if you're getting it, which I don't know if he's done yet, but I'm gonna assume that probably take 60 days, you know.
I think the process is like,
I think it's probably a little closer than that, I don't know.
Yeah.
He
I
told
haven't
me
talked
it's
to
2
him.
months. I think he's what he told me the other day, 2 months to
when
build
they
it,
start.
to build the house, 2
Because
months.
I know they went up and looked at everything and got everything.
I know they've got someone coming in, I think Alan paid someone to come out and do a survey on it, so they knew exactly where the property was, and Jeff wanted to wait until the survey stakes, which I think they were doing that Thursday. And then he wanted to get in there before the boys come in and do the dirt work, which they were expecting to do, I think, next week sometime.
See, I don't have a problem with it, but where I see issues in the future, if somebody else doesn't like the primary running over their house for whatever reason, they're gonna want it for free too. So that's the issue I'm having here.
Yeah, you can't argue that.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, I almost think it'd be fair if he paid up maybe half of the supplies, if that's what he wants, but
Well, how can you ask someone, you don't pay for the supply that supply your house?
I didn't want to move from where the city put it
But it
either.
doesn't matter, you put in a new house. You
I
I
didn't
would
wanna
like
do
the
it.
underground, the primary behind my house moved too, but I mean, it's not
Well,
gonna
I know.
be, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, I don't care to do this for him, and I'm glad he's moving house in, but
Yeah.
next week, if we get 5 calls, hey, I don't like my line here either, for this reason, we're gonna have to do it for free too. So that's what I'm saying, I don't need to open up anything right now. That's why I think I'd like to look at it and talk to him. But it's whatever you guys want.
No, you're dead right.
I
mean,
think that's a good point.
That's
I mean,
totally hard, that's unarguable.
I don't care.
But I don't want to, I mean, I totally get it that I don't want to divide up his big lot either, but also, I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
that's
I
a
mean,
tough, that's a tough deal.
That's something that's gonna take weeks of the city workers' time, like 2 or 3 people. A week, maybe a week, I guess, it's not the weeks, but it takes a while to get all that primary down, get a new one trenched, you know, which I
Well,
assume they back up.
they can't take the primary down until they have the new stuff in.
I know.
Right, he just needs to
It's
start to finish.
Total project, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
Because they can't cut anything loose, because if they cut it loose, they lose all their pumps out of the sewer pump.
sure, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I guess I think we need to figure.
Table it.
Yeah,
I
good.
mean, all right with that, I mean, I kinda wish we would have known it before tonight, you know, I mean, if it had to be decided tonight, but
I think
I
I
would
got,
have looked at it.
yeah, I got told it 3 or 4 tonight.
Right, I understand, yeah, and sometimes that's just the way it works.
Okay, so we're going to table that for next meeting.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Okay.
that.
Everyone else okay with that? All right. Okay, moving on. Under Public Works, Water Department, we still have that rental going in.
Yeah, they have it for 1 or 2 more days. I think Jason gave you guys the quote for the swimming pool slab. He gave you 2 options. And I don't think that they'll probably get started on that till the fall. But he gave you an option for the 4-inch or the 6-inch.
Are they, I mean, are they pouring it and finishing it themselves as well? It's a pretty good price, I mean, no brainer, I just do 4 inches if there's no equipment on it, it's just to mow it, to keep it from mowing. So I'm okay with the bid for 4-inch.
So if we just approve that now, but this bid's good for,
Well, this is just,
what he's
I guess the
gonna
only
process
thing
the
might,
material?
yeah,
But the material of concrete might change in price too. in
Right,
30 days,
that's what I was
or
meaning.
60 days.
We're just gonna vote on it for an advancement or?
I mean, maybe we could just vote on the project. And then I could get, because that doesn't include sand and tax.
Either way, guys, I mean, it's
I don't know.
less than half if somebody was to
Or-
Yeah,
No, I know, I'm just saying, though, we're voting to approve it, and then we're just gonna do it in 6 months? I mean, not to be a smart tail, but.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that concrete price of 120 could go to 160 by the end of those.
yeah,
Not quite.
it may go to $20.
And it may go down to 95.
Yeah.
Not to jump back, but the machine, are we getting done what they thought, I guess, or how's that going on filling the cracks?
They're using a lot more material. The streets are a lot worse than they, I think, thought. And Jason gave you guys that map.
Right.
You know, he said eventually we can start talking with the county to see where we want to go with what projects, but that was just his map and his idea of what needed done. But, I mean, that's also talking a lot of dollars, so.
I thought that map was very informational.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
very
good.
good. Totally
That's
impressed.
very good.
Yep. I told him, I hope I didn't overspeak, but I told him that he's really been stepping up, and you guys have been really impressed with what he's been bringing to the table, so.
Do you have anything else under water department here, Danny? Sure, where? Streets and park department? Nothing there? Okay. Okay, we heard anything from grant administrator Lisa Cornwell?
She's available if you guys want anything done.
Anybody have any thoughts in regards to Lisa? Okay, moving on. Police chief, according to your administrative report, nothing to report at this time. Has that changed, Jenny? Okay. Anybody have any questions they need to have forwarded to Chief Adams? Okay, have we heard anything from the fire chief? Okay. Anybody have anything for Chief Sanders? Okay, city administrator Jamie.
I was preparing for the upcoming budget process, and they help us quite a bit anyways, and I'm recommending that we hire them to do our entire process, just so we can get all of the questions answered that you guys might have, and just shed some light on what we need to do going forward. I've been doing some checking with all of the economic impact with everything going on. I've kind of checked like valuations and had some discussions with a few people, and we shouldn't see a lot of change. The biggest change that we might see would be like the 1% sales tax with people buying, but the city should be in pretty good standing with everything else. So I was just a little bit worried with the budget process going forward, since we're already planning for 2021, so. But
I assume our utilities are probably way down with the school closed and the restaurants closed. Pretty high volume.
And
Yeah.
we lost two of our gas companies, I think, that are, I mean,
Huge.
they're shutting oil wells down, and
Two are oil wells that, you mean west of town, you mean, that we
yeah,
supply? So
one
we
of
need-
them right now is off, and then there's another corporation that shut off. So, yeah, but with the school alone.
Yeah, it makes a difference, the school, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge, yeah,
So,
which, they're still heating the pool.
so I don't know what you guys think about that. I mean, they help us quite a bit, but this would be them doing it all. Like, they'll do the budget worksheets, and then the department heads can fill them out and bring them to you guys and have the discussions that like how we talked about the budget process going this year. A little bit more hands-on. We talked about it, I think, starting in March, but the audit's not done. The audit will be presented at the next meeting, so we have to wait for that to be done to get everything filled out, so as soon as that's done, then we can get the budget process started.
What was the dollar amount on that, James?
She quoted 1,500 to 2,000.
Say one more time.
1,500 to 2,000.
I think that's pretty reasonable for the amount of work that goes into it. I mean, I guess you would pick through it after they do it and kind of fine tune it and
Yeah, if
help
I'm,
them along with it and suggest and,
yeah, her and I work side by side, I mean,
right.
there's not, and the budget worksheets, like that process scares me a little bit just because when they do the audit, it's not line by line like our budget is, or like our budget worksheets. They have it more grouped up into the 3 categories, so, I mean, it's not gonna be me completely hands-off.
Right, it'd be another set of eyes for a fairly reasonable price, I think.
Yeah, and just, I mean, having them be able to look at it and gear us into the directions we need to be going with, you know, none of us know how it was set up or why this fund's here and all of that, so I think it would be good to have them be able to point us in the right direction on some of those things too.
That price, I mean, isn't nothing compared to the amount of money we move a year, so I think it's a no-brainer to do that. So,
Yeah,
I'd make a motion.
I'm fine with it.
I'd make a motion to approve Aaron's Brownberry and Ball to help with the budget for no more than $2,000.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, what do you got else next, Jeremy?
I've talked with Alan a little bit on code enforcement since they're out patrolling all the time. He's agreed to kind of keep an eye on different things and help getting the town cleaned up. We got permission from John to get cameras out of the diversion fund for each of the vehicles. And that's not only for code enforcement, but that's for the stuff that, like the calls that they get, because cell phones aren't always the most professional looking when you're on a call. So we got those ordered and they should be here. Yards were checked, and we're probably gonna have to check them again because a lot of them are borderline and it's the beginning of the season. So as soon as they're checked one more time, we'll get the letters out for that and have all of that fun stuff started. The playground equipment for the grant that we got will be installed at late May. The guys got the old equipment out already and they're ready for it, so we just have to wait on them to bring everything here.
Are they installing it?
Yep, we just had to remove everything, so.
Anything else, Jim? Okay. Okay, moving on. City Attorney, John, do you have anything?
Can
I have nothing to add.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to go easier. Can we just tread light on the yard letters, just for at the start of the season, everybody's getting going. I mean, we've been joking about it, but we're going to have our hands full with the land bank, and I've got several calls in the past. People got a letter that have lived here for 50 years, 70 years, and ran a business and got a letter and were extremely offended, and I totally agree. And I think we need to be very cautioned with that. Last year was a wet year. I know that has something to do with it, but just right here when we're getting going, just maybe just be, whoever's doing it, just direct them to.
Yeah, and that's why.
I just want everybody to tread a little light and let's just get going. So that's all I got.
Sorry. And I don't remember what that letter says, but some of the language in that letter is intended to mirror the city ordinance, which requires only that the letter be sent once.
Right. If they get one letter and then they get the initial letter and then every time it's checked twice a month, and then we have the authority to just go mow.
And so because it's got that legal language in there, some people, they take it as threatening. It's not, certainly not intended to be that way.
Right.
Well, I just want a little common sense to go in with it when it gets sent out, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. Okay, Johnny, since you have nothing else, we'll move on to old business, the utility truck.
So they're waiting on a hitch, and then it'll be back.
I talked to Jason yesterday. I don't know if you guys have been ordering online, but some of these things have been put back for 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, he had mentioned something about him just going and getting the truck and going back and getting a hitch later, because he was helping me out with something and he didn't have some of his tools. So I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to him to go and get in the truck, taking it back when the hitch is in, instead of waiting for a month, or it could be a week, but.
Yeah, with everything that's going on right now, you're probably going to see a delay in quite a few things. Where is this truck at? In Kiowa?
Yep.
I don't see a problem, if council doesn't have a problem with it, to send him over to pick it up.
And that way he can have his tools back.
Yeah.
He's driving that old police truck right now.
Yeah, I'm not
Council
opposed
okay
to
with
it
that?
at all.
Just leave it up to him if he wants, I guess if he wants to.
You can ask him if he'd like to go and pick up that, and then I guess when the hitch finally comes in, he can go get it.
Whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, it's up to him. Okay. Next thing, moving on, WIT Center repairs.
Bench should be done Friday.
Anybody have any questions or comments about that?
I just happened to be over there today, saw it, looks nice, moving along.
Really good.
We're working on, yeah. I mean,
Smells really good.
Yeah, smells like new carpet.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. All right. Okay, moving on to strategic plan.
Just a suggestion, we haven't been doing anything with this, and with everything, I don't see that, I don't see us being able to make too much of a plan, other than, like Ross has said, we need to keep maintaining. So, if you guys want to keep it on there and work on it, we can, but
You're throwing me through a loop here, because I mean, that was a big priority. Yep. I don't know. You guys decided this one.
I mean, strategic plans are,
It's a lot of work, but I think it's well worth it.
I mean, we can leave it on there, I'm just suggesting.
I mean, if we take it off, I think it should be looked at some point. We have a lot going on right now.
I think that we should just leave it on there. I don't know what the rest of you think, but I think we should just go ahead and leave it on there just as a reminder that we do need to come back to it, because it is an important subject that we need to go back to, so.
Or do you guys, I mean, you guys voice your opinions, what do you guys think?
I'm fine with leaving it on.
Just, you don't have to talk about it every time, but just
Right.
so we don't forget, I guess.
Yeah, just so we don't forget. Okay. Okay, moving on, Jubilee update.
I mean, just be blunt and out front about it. What are you thinking?
I think it's your decision. If you want my personal opinion, I think
Your professional's opinion
my
is better.
professional opinion is that it might be too soon from all of it. I have reservations of bringing a bunch of people to town. And Ryan and I have talked about it.
I think it's
I mean,
probably best to just cancel it. I mean, if you look at some of the other places that put events on, they're canceling stuff clear into June.
Yeah.
I mean, they've canceled a ton of stuff. They haven't.
You know, there's nothing saying that we can't cancel and have Jubilee at a later date. And if we wanted to have something similar to Jubilee, we could always do it around October, which is the anniversary of the fountain. I believe it's October 17th. We could do something focused around that. Hopefully, by that time, we have a better idea of what's going on within this state and in this country as far as the coronavirus is concerned.
Pam and I have talked about just adding it on, like we do the car show, so we could do the fountain reveal and all of that, and have the bands and see if the carnival couldn't come for the car show.
Right.
So
Okay.
we could just make that.
You still haven't gotten any email response from WEE Entertainment?
Yes, I got a response from them, and they are basically waiting like everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, they said if we cancel or the state's not back open by then so be it, but I'll just email them back, and once we can get a better plan in place for when we can reschedule, maybe they would be willing to come out whenever we have it again.
Yeah, I've had several people in town tell me that, just cancel it for May, maybe postpone it. Just see, I guess.
I've had some people say we should just postpone it. They're worried about a lot of things, and they hate to see it, but they'd rather have people in this community safe. So.
When is your car show?
Last weekend of August, I think. The 3rd or 4th weekend of August.
Yeah, I think your idea is pretty good, just to plan on doing stuff then.
Mhm.
But for sure, I think it's definitely smart to cancel it. We're gonna make history here,
4th of
guys.
July weekend, but that's maybe even too close to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't organize it, so.
Just officially postpone it till a later date,
Yeah.
and just leave it open-ended.
Yep.
We can have the wannabe Jubilee car show or something. We'll spin it.
Okay. All right, moving on, summer mowing. We're going to discuss that under executive session, Jamie?
Yeah.
Okay. We have ordinance 1073-20 curfew, that's been tabled along with ordinance 1071-20.
I think that's next up. We passed the curfew ordinance.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't we pass
Oh, the
that?
noise.
It's the noise ordinance.
Oh, the noise, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, having said that, do you want to talk about the noise ordinance?
Weren't we gonna wait till everything leveled out when Alan was gonna come in and talk to us about that?
Yeah, that's,
That's why I just had it tabled.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, just continue to table it so we can talk to Alan. It's not a huge pressing issue.
right.
All right. Same thing with the house number ordinance, we don't have to worry about that right now, we just keep on tabling that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next thing up is the, on new business, the CIC renewal.
It's just our computer software, and I need your guys' approval to pay the invoice and Mark to sign the contract.
I'd make a motion to approve the renewal of CIC for $3,315.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mark, may we amend the agenda and add the swimming pool on there, please?
Absolutely. And that's signed, Jamie, so there you go. Okay, want to add an amendment to the agenda to discuss the pool.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Jamie, what do you got?
If we're still going forward with the pool, I have a list of lifeguards to be hired. If you guys want to move forward with that.
Do we need to discuss that in executive session then?
I think if we're discussing hiring, yes, but are we going to move forward with the pool?
I think we ought to go ahead and have that thing ready to go if everything's lifted.
I think we discussed this a little bit at last meeting, if I'm not mistaken.
Typically, it's 1st of June, we open up. right
Well,
before the
they
weekend.
tried to open up
Right.
for the weekend.
So,
All right.
I guess we get everybody hired, and, are we, yeah.
I mean, we're not committed to anything probably except for,
Thousands of gallons of water.
Yeah,
We're
filling
not-
it
we're not
and
on
then the
the
guys are gonna have to
employee
maintain it.
thing.
Yeah, like hiring somebody and then backing out. Oh,
Right.
John. I know that question, right?
John, what if we hire the lifeguards and everybody and then we don't use them?
If you don't, well, and then you don't use them.
Right.
But are we obligated to pay anybody?
I don't think we are.
Stephanie's salary.
Manager?
Well, matter.
Let me ask you this, if you wait to hire them, is it gonna be a problem finding lifeguards then?
Yeah.
What else did we?
We can ask that question and discuss it at next meeting, or send that.
I sure want to have the pool open, I'm not against that at all, I guess, yeah.
I just don't want to be obligated.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be
Which
nice to
granted,
let,
here's the thing, the pool makes us absolutely no money.
yeah,
It costs us money every year, so I mean,
but we're leaving some of those people on the hook, you know, and I don't know what to tell them, you know,
Right.
like that work at the pool, the kids could be finding other jobs now.
Right, and if we hire them, and they accept the job, and then we don't open, they need cash,
You're
we're gonna
going
put
to pay
someplace
them
up.
on a per-hour basis, so if they're not working on a per-hour basis, they're not getting paid on a per-hour basis.
Okay.
Should we just tell them that that's part of the bid? I mean, we'll hire you, but we may not be open if we're just upfront about it. They know if they want to go and look for something.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hire them,
That's
pending
probably
our
the best way
decision to
to-
open
yeah.
the pool to the public?
Yeah.
Is that allowed, I mean, is that allowed?
I don't see why not.
Tony.
I don't see why we
Pretty
couldn't
much
do
gotta
that.
understand where we're at.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, we don't know where we're at, we don't know where the state's gonna be at in a week, let alone a month or two from now.
I mean, it's not our fault that this is happening, but it's only fair to these kids if we tell them that we'll let them know for sure by a certain date, so they can go find another job for the summer.
I think that if we do hire them, we're upfront about that, we let them know, but we also tell them if nothing happens and it's taking a while and you find something else, just give the city office or give Steph a call and say, hey, I found another job, that way we can take them off the list and maybe start looking for somebody else, but this is a tough situation for all of us.
well, yeah, then you're in there too. They all go find other jobs and then they're ready to open the pool and we don't have anybody.
Right.
I don't know what the,
We're caught between a rock and a hard spot with
Yeah.
that.
so right now, the stay-at-home order is in effect until the 3rd, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually meet on the 5th, could we not decide it on the 5th of hiring or not hiring?
Well, from that, we could definitely, we'll definitely know what's gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I mean,
Why don't we go ahead and table it until that meeting?
I'd say that, because if, I mean, I guess, I still want the pool ready.
Right.
I'd rather waste the water
Yeah,
and then have to just drain it out and let it sit, but I'd hate to get somebody's hopes up when they could,
Right.
you know, they're waiting until June to go work, and then June comes along and they say, sorry, and then they didn't find a job. I'd rather just wait till the 5th to hire.
hopefully no more.
Yeah, we should know more by then, hopefully. So, let's go ahead and just, we'll table that one, David.
Does Steph coordinate, I mean, you coordinate with Steph, she handles all that? I guess you can relay everything we just said to Steph that, I mean, basically, really, as it stands now, if any of those lifeguards have the opportunity to get a job between now and the 5th, if it was my suggestion, I'd tell them to get the job.
Right,
yeah.
yeah, I agree,
I mean, we're openly telling them that,
right, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Just so we're all in agreement.
Okay. All right, do we have anything else, Jamie?
We didn't really talk about that 8th Street, the park, truck parking area.
Oh, I'm sorry, I had it written down up here, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, okay, yeah, 8th Street.
I was just wondering, you know, the weeds are getting taller out there. We talked about last meeting, whether we want to spray it. I talked to Raymond Long. He said he would be interested in planting milo there, this, disc it, plant milo there, but he doesn't want to paint branch, which is understandable. There's a lot of moisture that's been sucked out of the ground already, so.
When would that be?
You know, he plant milo the end of May, middle of May, so.
But he'd work it and take the weeds down.
Yeah, take the weeds down, take care of it, and he basically wouldn't pay
Go
the
for
rent.
it. I'm okay
What, we
with
don't
it.
have to worry about, everybody was saying chemical thing, we don't have to worry about any herbicide issue on that.
I think it's
It's
just
a noxious weed anyway.
Okay. I'm
it's
just
just
asking.
fertilizer out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. No, I'm all for
So
it.
anyway, I guess, Jamie, if you want to maybe talk to him tomorrow and say, take care of it.
Do we need to make a motion on that to allow him to?
Probably, and then also do we need to put that in writing just for the one growing season, for the growing crop of the 2020 milo,
Yeah, yeah,
Probably
Yeah.
should be in writing.
yeah, yeah.
to where this fall, if we want to.
John, something you can do?
I mean,
Is he awake?
John?
Yep.
Having something written up for a contract for the 8th Street area to have that taken care of by, who was it? Was it
Raymond Long, he was,
by Raymond Long? Can we have that for next meeting? Be okay? I mean, for him to. get
well,
that.
I would just, I mean,
We could vote on it tonight.
I mean, Jamie can type it up.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, just Jamie,
Okay,
just,
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't have to be,
doesn't have to be
As I
fancy.
said, as long as
Okay.
our minutes reflect it.
and I would maybe call him if you would mind, Jamie, tomorrow, and just make sure that's okay. If not, then
But we
I mean, I would say just to direct
Yeah,
Jamie
definitely vote on
to
that.
have it sprayed, you know what I mean? If Raymond says tomorrow, and I change my mind, just get it sprayed,
Okay,
get taken care of.
all right, so go ahead and take a vote on that. Do I hear a motion?
I'd make a motion to let Raymond Long farm the, industrial lot and to plant Milo on it for the 2020 season.
Second.
No charge.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Okay, motion carries. Okay, at this time, we're going to be moving into executive sessions. I would like to thank all the St. John High seniors who joined us this evening and their teachers. Thank you very much for coming. I'd ask you all to please leave the meeting at this point. On behalf of council, thank you very much. Good luck and congratulations. Have a good evening. Be well, be safe. If you need to, you can just go ahead and you can. Yeah, just give them a bit. She may not be paying attention. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, we're all good. All right.
We want to do the potential hires first, both then?
Yeah. We had 2 potential hires, a 5
Could
and
we
a 10.
just combine them all?
Potential hires,
For how long?
15.
10, 15 minutes?
Can we do that, John? Can we combine the potential hires?
If all the non-elected personnel can be combined, for example,
What do you say?
What?
To what?
If all the non-elected personnel can be combined, for an example. What do you mean?
If all of us sitting here can be involved,
if there's going to be separate motions regarding who can and can't be involved, then those cannot be combined.
Right, but the potential hires is gonna be everybody here, and
All
they,
potential hires, for example, they can be combined.
okay, that's what we're doing.
that's what we're going for. So,
Make a,
15?
yeah, 15. You gonna do it?
I'd make a motion for a 15-minute executive session to discuss potential hire pursuant to the non-elected personnel matter. To
Second.
include everybody except for Kimberly.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll resume at 8:04. Call this meeting back to order. Okay, have another 5-minute executive session to discuss an employee evaluation pursuant to non-elected personnel matter. And to include everybody in here.
I think Ross wanted his before that.
It doesn't matter, I guess. We
Oh,
can do
no,
this.
no, I'm sorry, I forgot. So which one? Yours is the 15-minute?
15-minute executive session to discuss employee performance pursuant to non-elected personnel.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Is that your motion?
Yeah, motion to include council and mayor.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll resume at 20 after. Call call this meeting back to order. We still haven't finished our discussion from that last executive session. I request, you said 10 minutes to continue with the discussion. Do you want the same people in there?
Yeah.
The same people? Okay.
Yep.
All right, is that a motion?
If you guys
So
want
moved.
Jamie in there at all, we can have her in it and ask her to leave.
We'll put the 10-minute one later.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll resume at 8:31. Call this meeting back to order. I think we still need to continue with our discussion on that. It's been said that we need another 10 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll resume at 8:41. Call this meeting back to order. We have a 10-minute executive session to discuss employee performance pursuant to non-elected personnel matter. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, excuse me, to include everybody around the table, including Jamie. Okay. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll resume at 8:53. Call this meeting back to order. Having not finished our discussion during that previous executive session, I ask that we have another 10-minute executive session.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll resume at 9:04. Call this meeting back to order. I ask that we have another 5 minutes added to our last one. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We will resume at 9:09. Call this meeting back to order. Council, what you got to say?
No further business, I guess.
Nothing else?
I
Okay,
got nothing.
having
We
no,
need a motion for John. Did you say you need a motion, John?
To put into place what you guys just decided.
Do
Okay.
what?
Say it again.
say that again, John?
Okay, everyone else,
Chuck,
right? He said we need a motion to go off of, for reference in the
for
future.
reference, yeah.
So, I need to make that motion.
Do we need another 5 minutes to discuss this with him?
I guess, yep. I'll make a motion to attorney-client privilege for 5 minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll resume at 9:11. Call this meeting back to order. Having taken no action, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.